Did I want to do this today? Absolutely not. But my gearbox went out and I was going to get some soda and my gearbox went out. You guys don't know what a gearbox is. It basically steers your vehicle. So we get to do this tonight because Friday I have to or Monday I have to go to work. Taking the tires out. This is what we're gonna be taking off. This fender well. This is gonna be a long fucking night like this. I'm gonna get all these off and I'm gonna come back to you guys. Let's get back on this bitch. It's the next day currently, and I have to fix my truck because I need it for work. I take these lugs off, and I think I'm gonna re-grease them, or at least anti-lock them. I gotta take this thing back off. It's a little chilly this morning too. Take my rim off, and I have to regather all the lugs. I got pissed off last night. It happens. Shit happens off camera. So let me show you guys something that was really pissing me off. Spent $30 on tools last night, which I'll end up keeping. Alright, so to undo the gearbox, take off this motherfucker right here. You're gonna need an 18mm flare wrench. 18mm flare wrench hooks on around that hose right there. The metal hose connects to the nut and then you can get it off. Do not strip it because you will regret it. So now I'm not going to do anything else from the top. I'm going to get my crate and then take this bitch out. Alright. So right down here, 4 years ago, I never showed it with the light on. I'm going to take my branch. It's going to go around like that. They say to go in from the fender well. Like, I got this big old box in my way that's underneath the radiator hose. Once you got that disconnected, you want to get this thing disconnected. That's like that right there. So now that one's disconnected. Get that one disconnected. Alright, so now that you got this hose off, that one off, now it's time to work on the Pitman arm. Alright, so here we have a Pitman arm puller right here. You're going to stick it on, or at first you're going to take off the castle nut and the pin, which is all right here. All greased up. I'm going to clean it underneath here because it needs it. But anyways, you're going to take the Pitman arm tool and basically put it on beneath the Pitman arm, right? And then you're going to take this piece with your impact, and then this is going to be all the way touching right here. This is right underneath this joint right here, and then you're just going to take your impact and smush it all the way up there. This is going to separate, this arm is going to separate from here using this. So now that that's out, we get to work on this thing. And yeah, all three of these are going to come out, and then we got to undo the steering linkage. This is what it should look like right now when it's getting redone. This is a rebuilt one. Of course, it's going to go out. I'll do another one in 5 years. So, yeah, it's just going to drain. That's just how it is. 13/16 silver socket. Black sockets didn't work, so we're using this silver socket, which is, I believe, it's going to be metric. I'm going to take 1, 2, and 3 out. Ever want to break a bar? Use whatever pull you want. Impact. So this is what we're after right here. So this whole fucking thing has got to come out, and I gotta find the socket for that. You can also get to the steering linkage from the wheel, the fender, the wheel well. Makes it easier. Before I do anything, what I'm going to do is squeeze my little body in here. I take my seat belt, and I'm going to physically lock it around my steering wheel. Saw this on a video, I'll link it down below, but I'm going to lock it as tight as I can. Lift this thing up. And get this Pitman arm out. It's going to get a little bit messy here. Ouch, you fuck. Alright. There we go. There we go. Oh. Gotta be very careful on how I handle this. Alright. Old one to new one. We're just gonna break the bag open. You want to have it in the same position as the old one because that's the same direction that the drive line's gonna go on right here, and then the Pitman arm is gonna go back right here. So I'm gonna grab the Pitman arm remover, take this here off either with a 21 or 22 millimeter socket. So yeah, 36 millimeter. I don't think it's that big. That's what she said. Oh shit! No, bitch, it worked. All right, 36. It's not 36. Too much play, but it fucking worked. So we need the smaller one. I can't believe that shit worked. Oops. There you guys. See it? That worked. Pitman arm is off. So now I decided to do something. I decided to take some starting fluid, clean out the Pitman arm, give it a nice little cleanup. Nothing really even hurts it because it's made out of alcohol as well. So these little grooves in here, there's like divots. And I was wondering, like, why the hell isn't this shit going on the right way? There's little divots in here. The Pitman arm has them going inside the divots. I'll take this one here off just to show you. I decided to clean the new one with starting fluid as well because there's a lot of dirt in there. But you guys can see that there's little splines and then a bigger spline right there. These actually go into here. I don't know if you can see that, but it goes into there like that. And there is your gearbox starting to come into place. This is something that I filmed off camera because I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for it, but this here's a 36 mil and it's way smaller than this, not right here. And if you don't get it right, then you're going to end up rounding it out. But I just put the socket all the way down the Pitman arm and then just fucking went for it and it stayed. So this bitch ain't going nowhere. I believe you can put anti-seize on this, but I didn't, so So now the steering linkage, this motherfucker. So I'm gonna end up getting another socket, using long boys this time. I'm gonna flip this over, take this bolt out, then, alright, so, didn't move hardly anything, but, alright. We're gonna put this here the same way that we take it off. It's just gonna be like this. Like the same exact way. You don't wanna fuck this shit up. Oh damn, that came off super easily. I'll probably have to get a new steering linkage soon. But anyways, you usually have to take a pry bar, and pry that off, but there was no need to. So I'm gonna leave this here greased up. There's nothing wrong with it. Probably clean up the steering linkage a little bit. This little brush has come in so handy right here. This little brush, just a little bristle brush. It's come in handy a lot. It's not brass, it's not metal, it's just a plastic brush, just to help get some of the dirt out. In the future, redo the steering linkage on this thing and make it a little bit on the tighter side. Keep some of the grease in there at least. Now we're just gonna pop this motherfucker back on if we can. So before I move on, this hose connection right here was right here in the front. We're gonna have to connect it right here in order to get it back into the truck. 18 millimeter, the flare wrench works great, and a 18 regular wrench works great as well. See, I'm using the 18 and it works just fine. Alright, everything is on. I'm gonna take these here off, but I'm not gonna do that until I actually get the thing on there. Let's see. It's the old one, it's a new one. New to me anyways. I have to redo it again in the next probably 5 years. But this one here is remanufactured. This one here also remanufactured, but I gotta send it back in. And yeah, they painted over it and make it look like new, but worst comes to worst, I'll just have to redo it. Alright, so I did the best that I could, and I'm draining oil, but this one here is torqued at 84, this one here is torqued at 185. I don't have a 185, so I just took the biggest torque that I have and maxed it out pretty much to 150. Torqued it down as much as I could, and impact does the same thing, but better safe than sorry, so I just torqued it down. This little bolt right here gets torqued down to 85 torques, and that's what I did. It's almost at 90, so there's that. Alright, so what ended up happening was you can put the steering linkage in first, otherwise the Pitman arm will not be able to go in and all this here would be tangled up. This here was underneath the gearbox, so I had to turn off the camera. But anyways, got the steering linkage in. This here's the steering linkage right there. And now all I have to do is just put this clip on over it. we're back. It's nighttime, but whatever. Just gonna show you guys this, and it's still leaking. Motherfucker, dude. I'm gonna figure out why it's leaking so much. Anyways, so basically what else went out was the pump. This is gonna be your pump right here. There's also going to be a pulley thing that you take off. I'll post it up here on the video. But anyways, you put it in here, take it out, then to put it back in, there's one that just goes on the end right here, and then you just screw it back in. It's very, very tedious though. This part right here screws into the back right here. I gotta figure out why this is leaking. And then, because I didn't know it was leaking. And then the whole thing comes out. There's 3 screws. It shows it on the brand new one. I'll put them up on the screen. And then this clamp comes out right here. There's another one that comes out as well on the side. It goes as a hose that goes onto an actual metal tube, and that's how you basically take it off. On the original set, there's a hanger on the original pump. On the brand new one that they gave me, it didn't have one. So basically deleted the hanger and then just added the 2 other bolts that go into here, and then put it all back together. Serpentine belt has to come off. This thing here has to come off. The belt has to come off. That's pretty much it. And then as for the pump, how to do it, you rotate your tires left and right, and it'll look like a foam at first. That's what you guys see at the end. And then the very next day when I came out here, which was today, it was all clear. But I think I'm going to either add more tomorrow just to see how it goes. But there's a leak, and I still have to figure that out. I probably didn't tighten one of the other ones correctly, so I'm going to have to do that probably tomorrow morning before I head to work. So that's pretty much what you got to do. Alright, so this here is how you're going to determine whether or not you have a leak. A lot of times one of these hoses will be cracked. Doesn't always mean up here. It can mean at the very, very like tippy top of the power steering pump. This here could also not be closed right. Make sure that's closed right, otherwise you're gonna leak some liquid. There is a flared nut right there. This thing requires a flared wrench. You want to make sure that that is closed all the way. It's an 18mm. This is chewed up. You guys can already see it in the camera right there. The one in the back. The one in the front, it's okay. It should be over that pocket. Or maybe that's just a stopper. But you got those hose clamps right there. I didn't have the top closed off, but I'm keeping a watch out for it because you can still see some leakage. I just turned on the truck a little bit, turn the wheels, press the brake. I'll show you the fluid. This here is how your fluid should go. This here is how it should look. It's like an amber red. And the phone camera, it's different though. Make sure that it's closed all the way. You can still see a little grease and stuff, but I took some starting fluid, cleaned it all up. It's basically the same thing as alcohol, but it turns just fine. I'm gonna carry a little bit of starting fluid with me, just in case I hear whining or any other thing. I'm also gonna replace this hose and check on the other one later, but as for right now, this is what we got. I was watching a video that I'll link below. It says to press the brake because that's part of the system. The other thing that also determines that you have something bad is a clogged leak. A clogged leak. A clogged hose. A clogged hose basically means that you have a bunch of soot or dirt buildup or just old hoses that tear apart from the inside. That can cause hoses to go bad, clogs in the lines. It could just be the most simplest little thing that you have to spend $5 on, but just a ton of fucking labor. And you, in order to save yourself from a $2,000 job, you gotta just YouTube University it and determine it yourself and get it done yourself. And that's exactly what I did. Right now what I'm doing is making sure and listening for the next couple of days my pump, because the last thing I need is it to leave me stranded. I never told you guys this, but the reason why I changed it was because it left me stranded at Hobby Lobby. My pump that leads to the gearbox, and the gearbox leads to the pump, completely froze on me. And now I am acting paranoid and really looking out for my vehicle and determining, like, do I still fucking need this, or yeah, it left me stranded. So I had to have it towed, and I didn't like it, and now we're here. So that's pretty much it. A lot of people don't want to take care of old trucks anymore. A lot of it is not online. You have to either Google it yourself or just fucking figure it out. I've learned that I have an easy truck. I have a 6.0. The trans is going, but I'm making her work by not hauling ass with her. All in all, check your lines. Make sure they're not cracked. Make sure they're sealed correctly. If you have a broken hose clamp, get a new hose clamp. Might as well get a new hose. See you guys in the next video.